Good football talk. Look at us.
Yeah, man. I told you, man, this is gonna be a good show today. This is gonna be a good show
You
today.
called that. Let's hope the YouTube algorithm follows suit.
The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more. He's got it. Touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins. Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. The down.
Alrighty, welcome back to episode 22 of the Scarlet and Blue Show. Actually, hold on. Sorry, I have a snafu I need to address here.
All right.
Completely unrelated.
All right.
I heard on the broadcast Friday night that you said the Scarlet and Gray Show, and you did it on purpose.
Bryce, no.
These are Arlen Gaddy's words.
That was Arlen. I thought you said me. That was Arlen Gaddy, Bryce. I wish you could saw me in studio.
Did you correct him?
Right, Bryce. I looked at him. I was like, I'm just saying to him. He goes, "Oh no, Scarlet and Blue Show," and then he said, "It's my bias showing." He did say that. So something to that.
The correction did happen though.
Yes, it did. Oh, you better believe it, Bryce. You're not gonna sit here and ruin my platform, our platform. Come on now.
And you saying Scarlet and Gray would have ruined it. Arlen, Mr. Gaddy, I expect better from you. All right,
we both do.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go ahead. Terps.
No, man. This is a big week. The way the schedule played out, Bryce, I'm very happy we had the bye when we had it. I think had we played Maryland coming out of that game, such an intense, emotional game, Bryce, we could have had a let up. We could have had a let up, and if we did that, I would have been completely devastated. I don't know if you saw this. The line actually went up today by 0.5. So
I saw 20. Are we at 20 now?
Yeah, it was at 19.5. It went up to 20 today. Vegas is telling you something.
Opened at 17.5.
Yeah, Vegas is telling you something.
Well, is it? If the line opens at 17.5, but then sharps move it?
I think they either believe that it's gonna be a complete blowout or it's gonna get pretty close. That's what I think.
Are you picking Bucks? Well, continue. I'll ask you your prediction later.
Bryce, you know my rules, Bryce. I don't bet on my team. I don't talk the spread. I don't get high on my own supply. So no. I want to read a few things to you, man. This is from the press conference that Ryan Day and Jim Knowles had. I do find it interesting, by the way, that we have an offensive coordinator. He don't talk that much, but that's another story for another day. But you would expect your OC to be there. But Ryan Day talked about, they focused on short yardage plays. That has been something of emphasis for us because we haven't been that good at it this year. I think you would agree with that. I think the whole world would agree with that. Statistics agree with that. Analytics agree with that. So he talked about that. He talked about forging an identity. This is where we show it. Maryland has talent. Maryland, I think for the last few years, Bryce, had they been in the Big Ten West, they probably would have won it or gotten close to it. But I think after that Notre Dame game, Bryce, you have to Kyle McCord has to capitalize off that last drive. That was special. He threw some special throws. He had three special throws on that drive. You got to capitalize on that. You got to be more consistent. And Ryan Day had this awesome quote. He said, "Once you come home with an A in algebra, you are expected to get an A every time." And we talked about this some episodes ago. That is the expectation. And consistency, the high consistency is the expectation at Ohio State for the quarterback. Also, if you want to, I'm sorry, he said, if you want to know, Ryan Day had a B plus in trigonometry. Just a fun stat right there. And then from Jim Knowles, Bryce, he says something, and maybe you can recall this. I think it was like in our first or second episode, and I ranted about our defense having accountability. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I was saying, when you have accountability, you don't give up those 20-yard, 30-yard plays. You don't miss tackles. You don't do that when guys hold each other accountable on defense. Well, Jim Knowles brought that up. He said guys are holding guys accountable. He said that Tommy Eichenberg, even though he didn't play great against Notre Dame, he said he's been his eyes on the field, which is awesome to hear. Now, Talia is playing his best football right now. Granted, that is they've had the 132nd ranked schedule in the nation so far. Okay, they trailed Charlotte, they trailed Virginia, struggled against Michigan State's offense. They actually Michigan State outgained them, but Michigan State had 5 turnovers in that game. So I mean, we'll see, Bryce. I mean, they're giving up 330 yards, 380 yards a game with that schedule. I'm not going to tell you if we cover or not. But usually, Bryce, when we play Maryland at home, we play them before we play you guys, which can cause us to maybe look ahead a little bit. The same way outside of Blake's injury, I think there was a little bit of looking ahead when you guys played Illinois.
Totally.
Oh, Bryce, this is the middle of the season now. And middle of the season, Ryan Day is a little bit different than end of the year Ryan Day as of late, which we both would agree on. We're going to pounce on them. We're going to pounce.
Yeah, that's you taking the Bucks minus the 20 without you.
I didn't say that, Bryce. I didn't say it.
Read between the lines.
I'll get another just interesting stat, Bryce. Their kicker is 5 for 10 on the season on field goals, not PATs, but field goals. It was from 20 to 29 yards, he's 0 for 1. From 30 to 39, he's 2 for 2, and beyond that, he's 3 for 7.
Okay.
Once you get past 40 yards, he's complete trash. And I don't think they're going to be able to get to the end zone like that on us, Bryce. So, we're the longest touchdown we've given up this year is 2 yards. Right now, in terms of statistics, we are the second best defense behind yours truly. I don't think they can play with us for that long. I think they could probably stick with us for a half. It was called a half, and I think that's at the most. Some people think they can stick with us for 4 quarters, like Steve Deist said, which is completely insane to me. I don't see where and at what, and they have 2 good tackles, but I don't think this isn't Notre Dame's offensive line. This isn't Notre Dame's running back room, and even though their running backs are playing good, I think the starters averaging 4.8. The backup, right so far, the guy the second most carries in their team is averaging 7.8. But it's not the same. And if you remember, Bryce, I would say outside of a quarter and a half, so the third and the half of the fourth quarter, Bryce, we were stifling Notre Dame's running game all day. So I think this is a turning point for the Ohio State season. I think this is where the offense gets on track. I think the defense stays where it's at. I think Maryland can I think they'll pose a threat. Actually, Bryce, I'm calling my shot. We win this game 38-14. 38-14. So yes, Bryce, we're covering.
You're covering. Yeah, it feels. Who on offense are you worried about? Anybody? Because they've got some receivers.
Talia, that's it.
That's it. You're not worried about anybody else.
I'm not worried about the receivers, Bryce. The way our secondary is playing right now, Bryce, I think we've given up. I could be wrong here, but I think we've only given up 1 play or 20 yards or none at all. Like it's not like that. this secondary is completely different. I've said this before. I said it all summer. I'm saying it now again. Second year under Jim Knowles, and everyone wants to bring up, and you have brought up how long it took for Jim Knowles' defense to get to where it's going. I think it's 3 or 4 years. This is not the same talent he's working with at Oklahoma State. I mean, unless you're telling, like I said, Notre Dame's receivers weren't all that great, but unless you're sitting here telling me that Maryland has some game breakers at wide receiver, Bryce, like when it comes to top tier going against top tier DBs, Denzel Burke got thrown to one time against Notre Dame. Sonny Styles is playing out of his mind. Ransom is playing like an All-American. So is Denzel Burke. Josh Proctor is playing like an All-American at safety. Jordan Hancock is playing awesome. Igbenogson, he's been a little handsy. You gotta stop that, because like I said, it's not for a lack of talent with Maryland.
Yeah,
they've always been an undisciplined team. Talia is the catalyst of being undisciplined in big games.
He had 11 picks in 2021, 8 picks last year. He's already got 3 this year, which means he's on track for 2021 pick numbers. So
let's talk about the elephant in the room. Bryce, who's calling that offense right now?
There, Mr. Speed in Space himself, Joshua. I don't know his middle name. Gaddis.
Okay, like I don't see where this team can. I think they'll maybe get 1 or 2 20-yard plays, but they won't finish on us like that. And when they trot that kicker on the field, they don't have it, Bryce. They don't have it.
Yeah, it feels. I was taking Maryland plus the points, and you're kind of talking me out of it now because you've raised valid points. The game is at noon, but it is in Columbus.
The
Snake Pit. And
the Cathedral of College Football.
Or the Snake Pit, however you want to define it. No, I think I don't think, now that we've talked about it, I don't think the Terps are going to win this. I do think, though, Garrison, at some point, Loxley has to take that step. He has to go 2 for 3 against the big 3 in the East.
Then take it against Penn State. It ain't us.
That's what I'm saying.
Gonna be us.
And he's got Penn State and Michigan at home. And Michigan's in that trap game. So maybe he can get 1. But I think he's got to get 2. I think this is the year to do it. This would be the game. If he goes into Columbus and knocks you guys off, that would be the game that finally brings Maryland past that point. Yep. But it feels like, because you got the big 3, and you got Michigan State, Maryland in the kind of middle, and then you got Rutgers and Indiana at the bottom. And it's like if they can get 2 of these 3, even one of those 3, feels like the next step.
I mean, so Bryce, excuse me, take back what I said about the 20 yards. Ohio State hasn't given up a 40-yard play from scrimmage this year.
Ohio State hasn't given a 40-yard play from scrimmage this year.
Do you know how many we gave up last year?
Oh gosh, I mean
18.
Wow. Okay, that's a good pull.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go Terps. Let's see. Should be interesting.
Now let's talk about the oldest rivalry in college football.
Garrison, where is the University of Minnesota? We're doing trivia every week.
I hate this game. Wait. Give me the first letter.
M.
It's not Minneapolis.
It's Minneapolis.
Boom.
Now, where is the University of Maryland?
Somewhere in Maryland.
You're not wrong. College Park. Give me a Power 5 school. I'll tell you what city it's in.
Where's Washington State?
Spokane.
You gotta be kidding me. All right.
Yep. We could play this game all day. But Little Brown Jug, we go out to Minneapolis. No, it's not. No, not Spokane. In Pullman, Washington.
No, you just Googled it.
No, I didn't.
I saw your wife. I just saw your wife Googling it.
Yeah. She doesn't care about this show.
Yeah, she's a watcher. She watches.
Yeah, Gophers are not what they once were. They don't have Mo Ibrahim. They don't have Tanner Morgan. It is a rebuilding year for the Gophers. Yeah. 3-2 with one okay loss down in Chapel Hill against UNC, but Garrison, one really bad loss 2 weeks ago to the Wildcats. They were up 31-10 in the third and gave up almost 500 yards.
That's disgusting.
Northwestern.
That's disgusting.
That's horrible. So this team has some growth opportunities to do. The line, I think, is 19.5. Hasn't really moved, which is surprising. So I don't know what Vegas is saying there.
I struggled to, when I looked at that line, Bryce, I struggled to understand it all. So I don't.
It doesn't make a ton of sense after what happened against Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I think I'm taking Michigan. Again, I like your rule. Don't get high on your own supply. If I had to pick one, I'd lean towards Michigan. But I took Nebraska last week, so I'm a terrible gambler. So we'll see. Let's get into it.
Terrible, bro. You're under the marker. Stop it.
Thank you. This is this guy just building up.
Come on, man.
Coach Day's taught you well. All right.
Wow. Okay.
Offense. The offense is a PJ Fleck offense. Remember PJ Fleck at Western Michigan?
He was awesome.
That was awesome. I have thoughts on him there and what it's like in Minnesota now. We'll get to in a second, but we're looking at the 102 ranked best offense in terms of yards a game, averaging 342, which ain't great. 94th in points scored at 24. Yeah. So very middle / bottom of the road type offense.
Yeah.
For first year starting quarterback with Ethan Kelly Akmanis. It's a full mouthful of a name. I actually liked him. I think he's got potential. He's how did you characterize, what'd you call Nebraska's quarterback last week? He's got promise, I think is what you said.
He's got promise. He's got promise.
This kid's got promise.
Yeah.
I think we got to settle into his role in this offense, but run heavy offense. And that's led by, if you follow Michigan recruiting, Darius Taylor, one of the top, depending on what site you're looking at, top 10 players in the 2023 class coming out of the state of Michigan. Darius Taylor, 87 carries, 532 yards for 4 tuds. So he'll be the one to keep your eye out for. PJ Fleck's a pretty charismatic guy, a lot of energy. And so you tend to think, oh, sling the ball, West Coast offense. Guy prefers to run the ball. Now, as you mentioned in the show, he's going up against the number 1 rush defense. Or one of the are they number 1 rush defense or just number 1 overall defense?
Number 1 overall defense.
So I'm assuming Michigan's up there. I don't know how you're gonna move the ball against the Wolverines. So and you talk about that 19-point spread. I can't see them scoring 19 points. I can't see them scoring more than 2 touchdowns.
10.
Yeah, more than 10. And then defense is kind of similar, very middle of the road, 60th in yards a game, 44th in points per game. They do have an interesting prospect, a defensive back, Tyler Nubin. I believe he's a safety.
Yes.
He's got NFL draft potential, probably career at the next level. So it's one guy JJ's going to have to watch out for, but you would think this offense would be able to really have their way again like they did last week.
Yeah, Bryce, I don't see any world where Minnesota challenges you guys, let alone win the game. It's not a good team.
It's not a good team.
They're not a good team, man. Like I'm looking at it right here, man. Like 71 for 121, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks out of Kalaki.
Nailed it.
Yeah, right. I don't see where that happens. If they have a chance it's gonna have to be behind the Minnesota offensive line, but in the same breath, that means I'm expecting them to push back Mason Graham. I'm expecting them to push back Lesson Gant and Chris Jenkins, Grant, sorry, and Chris Jenkins. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
The leading receiver, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's okay, I guess. It's not to beat Michigan, man. You gotta pass the ball, and if you're having 149 passing yards a game, you have already let me know that you are going to get curb stomped before you even touch the field.
Well put.
Huh?
Well put.
Yeah, and I mean, they give up just under 130 rushing yards a game, which lets me know, man, Bryce, they're gonna run through easier than that omelet this morning I had, bro. It's gonna. I don't understand, or I'm sorry, I don't understand, but I don't see where they have a chance. Now, I guess every team has a chance to some extent.
Sure, but where they can actually win the game over the course of
I put the mortgage on it, Bryce. I don't see where there's just no way they can win this game.
Okay.
There's just no way they can win this game. And it's not so much about Michigan. It's the fact that you are actually that inept on offense and on defense. Maybe if your coach had a great head of hair, I'd pick different. But
he wears a tie though, just like your boy Tressel.
Yeah, but Tressel has more hair than he does now. So
that's true. Hey, don't fault receding hairlines and balding. Male pattern balding's a real thing.
Right, Bryce, it's getting there, buddy.
It is. You got that little line.
I'm not like you, Bob Sack or Arlen Gaddy, but
ricochet shots.
Hey, everybody can get it.
A couple things I want to see though, Garrison, because you can look at this game as, we're supposed to stomp them, or we can approach games like these and think to ourselves, all right, what do we want to see? What do we want to get out of this? I want to see a little more consistency with Rod Moore. I can't say I've watched the tape super, super close enough to look at every single snap he's been in. Mm-hmm. But when you've got Keon Sabb playing really well, Quentin Johnson playing really well, and then you come in and he gave up that touchdown against Nebraska, missed the tackle against Rutgers, which you want to talk about 40-yard plays. I don't know how many other ones Michigan's given up aside from.
I think Michigan's given up 3 this year, I think.
So you take those out of it, then that's, you're down to 1. And so I think he's got to get his sea legs under him. And I'd like to see a little more of that, a little more continuity in the defensive backfield. You look at these freshmen that burn their red shirts and think, okay, does that mean they're settling into the rotation? Does that mean they're settling into meaningful reps? Are those special team reps?
That's exactly what it means.
Yep. So it's like, okay, well, I want to see that. I want to see that secondary continue to get a little more gelled, a little more continuity. Mm. The other thing, Garrison, I want to see is there's 2 more things I want to see. One, I want to see something new. I want to see something new. I want to see Michigan get points off turnovers in different ways. I want to see a punt block. I want to see a kick return for a touchdown. I want to see a punt return for a touchdown. I think we're due for that. We're due for some special plays that way. We got the pick 6, Mikey against Rutgers.
Great play.
Yep. Had a few other turnovers. You can see good 4th down stops. Offense, defenses both look great. Let's see some more excitement in special teams.
Okay.
And the last thing I just want to see, and this is not for the team itself, this is for Michigan fans. This is a good reminder that I got from my old man, but we were talking about it. He was telling me, he's like, let's all stop and let's enjoy this. We're at a point in time where it's expected that Michigan dominates. If we go back to the last time Michigan went to Minneapolis, I believe it was 2015, because Minnesota came to town, I think might have been 17, handful of other times since. But I think the last time we went there was 2015. That was Harbaugh's first year. It was Halloween night. Took us a 4th down stop to win that game. And the 2015 team was good. Okay. Obviously not great. now we're just expecting blowouts and beatdowns. And daggone it, let's enjoy that reality. November's going to come. We're going to face real competition. Going to face a team with a winning record for the first time, probably.
Winning record.
Yeah. But. We'll get there. That day's coming. Let's enjoy this. That's for you, Michigan.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like the way you're looking at that. I do.
Thank you. Thank you. We're not all privileged and snobs like you guys.
It's a beautiful life.
Garrison, let's talk about two more things about Minnesota that I'm very curious your thoughts on. So I brought up earlier that PJ Fleck was in Kalamazoo at Western Michigan for a great stretch of MAC football and a lot of fun. So we're familiar with him. We also know that he has a lot of energy, a lot of charisma, does a lot, I think, to potentially wear on people. And so I look at a Minnesota program that has had every opportunity to get to Indianapolis and hasn't. And I look at their offensive coordinator, Kirk Shiraka, leaving for a lateral move, some would argue a worse move, to be the OC at Rutgers. Do you think, and it's funny that we're talking about this because we have no idea what goes on in the Minnesota football program, but would you guess that PJ Fleck is out living or out overwearing, what I'm trying to say, outliving his welcome? I can't think.
Kind of like a Jim Harbaugh.
That's a preposterous thing to say, but go ahead. I'll ignore that.
That's what people say about him. Okay, well,
but he wins.
Yes, I can see that. You're not in the MAC anymore. This is Big Ten football now, which I think when you take all sports, Bryce, this is the preeminent conference in the nation. You got CEOs don't coach like that. They don't act like that. I could imagine how he could wear on people. I could imagine how he could annoy people. Would I grab a beer with him? No. I don't. If he doesn't make a bowl game this year, Bryce, official hot seat.
Has to be.
Official hot
Has
seat.
to be.
Yeah. Official hot seat.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think you look at the West and you look at the teams that make it to Indianapolis. Those are the teams that don't really have to deal with the big three on the East during the regular season. I think Jared Denardo made the point where he said the West should not be graded on their Big Ten record. You should be graded on your record against West teams, because you look at Purdue and Iowa last year and the year before, they only played Penn State. Iowa beat Penn State in 2021. They didn't have to play Michigan, didn't have to play Ohio State during the regular season. You got to wonder how advantageous that is. Whereas like Illinois last year, you almost went into the big house and beat Michigan. And I think that would have clinched the division if they would have won. I think.
And Bryce, I mean, like, and take away the big three, Bryce. You haven't really had to play. You don't play Maryland every year. I mean, take away the last 2 years of Michigan State. You haven't had to play Michigan State every year.
Yep.
Which I would say in the conference, those are the five most talented, like just in terms of talent, those are the five most talented teams in the Big Ten. And you don't play them every year. So yeah, it is I mean, in Nebraska, for all the talent they have, they've faltered.
Yep. Wisconsin's been it's down.
Yeah, it's what's the word I'm looking for here? Disappointing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you hire, however long it's been, 5 years, 4 years, when you hire PJ Fleck, I think Minnesota fans would be really surprised to not have made a trip to Indianapolis yet.
I agree with that. And they had a chance. Was it 2 years ago?
I think they've been knocking on the door the last couple of years.
Not anymore.
But it's going that stretch for Michigan, knocking on the door. There's a big difference between getting there and sitting outside. So got to do it. Good football talk. God, look at us.
Yeah, man. I told you, man. This is gonna be a good show today. This is gonna be a good show.
You
today,
called
man.
that. Let's hope the YouTube algorithm follows suit. All right, Garrison, hit me with your picks. Let's keep this hot streak going. I'm gonna tail all your picks this week.
I hate this week. I hate it.
Oh, that's not good.
All right. First, we're gonna start Colorado -4 against Arizona State. All right. I'm not confident in it, but I'm just gonna be a Dallas Cowboy fan and cheer for Coach Prime this week. Coach Prime, go ahead and get it done, my boy. My next one, Bryce. Sorry, I wrote my picks down earlier. I forgot to write down the teams are playing.
That's right. I'll tell you.
Yeah, give me Missouri and LSU over 64.5.
Okay.
Give me that. Give me Rutgers to cover +13 against Wisconsin.
Yep, I like that.
Give me Bowling Green to cover against Miami. Now, Miami is a good football team. It's a good football team. But give me Bowling Green. I saw there was a Big Ten team they played not too long ago. They showed some promise against them.
They beat Georgia Tech last week.
Yes, they did. And I'm talking with you guys.
Yeah,
but no. Georgia Tech's not good, but beating a Power 5 team is impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can't.
And then give me Washington State +3 against who they have this week. I think they have I have it right here in front of me.
Washington?
Against UCLA. Yeah, give me Washington State to cover against UCLA +3. It's at UCLA, but the ups and downs, Bryce, of a true freshman quarterback, I think show up this week. And I think Washington State is one of the most underrated teams in college football.
Agreed. I love that pick too. I had Washington State as well for mine. Was that 5 for you? That was 5 for you, right?
Yeah, high five.
I got Washington State as well. I'm with you. I don't love the board either.
2 weeks.
What do you mean 2 weeks?
Because you didn't like last week's either.
No, last week was fine. So it was the week before that.
Oh, the week before. Okay.
That was when I went 1-4. Not important. All right. Give me Washington State +3 plus the points. Give me Army -3 against Boston College. Nope, 3.5. Sorry, that line is 3.5 now. I think Boston College is a bad football team. That's all I got.
I should have took that.
Give me. I'm sticking with the Knights. I think John Reese Plumlee's coming back. I think I've lost every pick on them. It's time to get right. Give me UCF +2.
I almost took that.
Did you?
I almost took that. That's a good bet. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
That's promising. Give me. This one opened at Baylor -1, but now it's Texas Tech -1.5. Give me the Raiders. I bet on Baylor too many times, and they've crushed me. And then my last pick, give me Purdue +2.5.
I almost took that.
Give me Purdue +2.5.
Bryce, you picked some good. Bryce, I think you're going.
Are we turning? Are we making a turn here?
I think you're going 4-1. I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood, but
feels like the week.
Yeah, man. I like that pick. I like those.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah,
all right. Big weekend ahead. Another great week of college football. Some really good games coming up here. My gosh, you got Notre Dame, Louisville. You got Georgia, Kentucky.
That 3-game stretch for Notre Dame is insane.
Oh, brutal.
If they win this, and I don't know how good Louisville is, but if Notre Dame wins this game, Bryce, that's a good team. That's a good football. That's a really good football team.
Yeah. It's on the road at Louisville. I think it's a night game. Yeah, 6:30 Central start. And then you got Bama, A&M. You got
that's at A&M.
And that's at A&M. Oh, that should be a night game. That's criminal. That's a 3:30 start.
Have you seen the ticket prices for Michigan State?
No.
I might have to go.
You have to go in all Buckeye gear just to troll.
Oh, no, I would. But I think the tickets are like at 120.
Oh, that's high. Higher than I thought. Oh, dude, this can be a lot of maize and blue in that little high school stadium. Oof.
That Bryce, it's at night, and the East Lansing locals can get rowdy. So
get a little rowdy. You should go. That would be really fun.
Bryce, I might buy a Bruce the Buckeye outfit and wear it there.